good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. No matter where you are, all over the world, we'd like to welcome you to the National Blitz League's presentation of unfinished business. And let me tell you, we have some unfinished business going down tomorrow. Actually, it's today, this evening, between Matthew Stevens and Corey Acor. There was some major trash talk going on in the chat room, going back and forth between these two. So they seriously have some unfinished business, and they're going to lay it out tonight. We have representing Matthew Stevens, Gopal, who is no stranger to the show. He's been on several times. And actually, Gopal, you have been pretty accurate in many of your assessments. So it's good having you on. You have a pretty good assessment of how things are going to go. So we're very interested in hearing what you have to say. And then we have a newcomer to the show, Joshua Harrison, who's going to be representing Corey Acor. Joshua, we'd like to welcome you. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So well, let's start off with you since you're the newcomer. What made you want to represent Corey?
Well, I've been playing him since I since I learned how to play chess. He's been like the best player in Tampa. So yeah, been known him my whole chess career.
Oh man, that's kind of nice. So you guys are kind of like chess brothers then, in a sense.
Yeah.
Nice. And Gopal, what made you go ahead and represent Matthew? I mean, you've represented several players. It seems like you have a close relationship with a number of players.
Yeah, Matthew asked me to represent him this time, and so I mean, I'm more than happy to do it. He worked with me a lot for a period of 4 years when he was at Whitney Young High School, gaining 2 state championships and a national championship. While like with the team and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I know him quite well, and I would say very few other people would be qualified to represent him.
Nice. And I know you represented him before, and in
Yeah.
that presentation, he came out on top. So he's probably trying to stick with that formula. So that's pretty nice. Now, in this situation, it's a little bit different. Corey has a massive rating lead on Matthew. So I know, Joshua, that's what you're probably going to bring to the stats. Why do you feel that Joshua is going to bring the beat down to Matthew? Let's hear it.
Well, I mean, Corey, he's just always been like great, like blitz player, like online. Just he plays with the top PMs online. Like this is just like he plays with all the top PMs every day online, hundreds of games. I watch him on. I play him like
every day?
every day on chess.com. He's playing like top PMs. He's watching play top PMs on chess.com. He's always playing. Like he's close to the ratings, so higher than some. So yeah, he's always playing like just every day. Chess is his life. He's always beating the top PM. And Blitz is his best. Like he's the best. It's like crazy.
Amazing. Amazing. So, hey, Josh, I'm getting some feedback from the booth, and it looks like your volume may be presenting a little bit of a problem. They may not be hearing you clearly. So, I'm getting some feedback from
All right,
the
I'll try to talk a little louder because I don't know how to fix the mic. So.
Yeah, that sounds good.
broadcast booth. So that's a lot better. All right. So, Gopal, you heard what he said. He's playing the top GMs on a daily basis. Does Matthew have anything close to that that'll help him in this match?
Yeah, I mean, okay, he's very experienced blitz and bullet player. And like really, he enjoys to play bullet and like hyper bullet almost to a fault. Really, I think. These things are not great for your regular chess, but for the purposes of this cage match, I think he'll do just fine. He has a lot of different accounts. He experiments with like different ideas on. But yeah, really, like I understand that like on paper, Matthew is a very heavy underdog.
Heavy.
Yeah, definitely a heavy underdog. This will be like his sternest test yet. But the thing that he has in his favor, I think, is the style matchups. And even though I would say both are pretty positional players, a lot of the opening lines that Corey plays can leave himself targeted to preparation. And especially some of the lines he plays with black against d4, like Budapest Gambit, or you avoid it with d4, knight f6, knight f3. Like, exposing yourself to that preparation kind of can put you in a tough spot. And we saw Matthew's variability, like when Deepak was giving his Caro Khan problems. Matthew was playing B6, then he was playing A6, and he has a lot more places to hide, and I think that gives him some sort of security in the match. Like if something's not working, he's not afraid to change.
Man, that's interesting. And thanks for bringing that technical aspect to it. That's something I would have never thought of that would give Matthew an edge. So, Josh, are you kind of nervous? Are you concerned that your boy is kind of readable and that he's predictable, or do you think
Well,
that?
the thing about it is like if he starts thinking that his opening lines aren't going well, he'll just start playing the King's Indian attack, getting a solid position, and then just going from there. And then just start playing the game from that moving position, and then just going from there. If he thinks his openings aren't going well, so in the long match, like I'm still not worried about it. Like
So I'm kind of getting the vibe that you're saying that he feels like Matthew is nothing. Like he's such a massive favorite going in that he doesn't care what Matthew does. He can just change it up and just beat him to death. Is that what you're saying?
well, I feel like he's pretty confident going in. Yeah.
Do you think he's overconfident?
Um, I don't know. I feel like he might talk like he's overconfident, but in his head, like he knows what he has to do. Like,
Gopal, do you think that overconfidence will be an advantage to Matthew?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, Matthew is surprised, like a lot of players. Even myself, actually. I remember, like for a while, he was having a lot of trouble, like breaking through. Really, like he was staying kind of in the 2200s, and then like he really skyrocketed towards the upper 2300s, like near the end of high school, and now like he's in college and COVID kind of hits, so his chess career is kind of like on hold, kind of like all of ours are. But yeah, I mean he can surprise anybody, especially very overconfident.
Cool, cool. Now, Josh, Matthew Stevens is being considered for MVP for season three playoff because he has gone on a massive terror, just ripping apart top. I mean, international master Tulia Shetty crushed him. Just made him look like he was a novice. The was it a GM that he played on the top board and made him look bad?
Yeah, he played Ankit Rajpara, the police.
Yes,
Yeah.
amazingly. Just. I mean, it was like he made him seem like he was just an expert. Does this cause you any kind of concern?
well, I know like those guys are great, like in like longer chess games and like with like Fide rated and stuff, and like might be high rated before getting blitz. Like Acor is just a different animal. Like, he just plays with all the top guys, like even way higher than them. He's just a different animal in blitz.
Okay. All right. We hear you. So now let's go to the mental aspect. This is a 21 game match. You heard the Jedi. The Jedi is a massive, like, beast bullet player. He does a lot of streams with it. And in the cage match, we saw that even he had a tough time in his match last night. Or was that Friday? Yeah, Friday night. Last 2 day a night day ago. Friday night. So, I'd like to hear you guys from the mental standpoint. Let's start with you, Gopal. Who do you think is going to have the more tendency to crack under the pressure and have a mental lapse?
Um, I mean, I would say that's really that's just difficult to call. I mean, Corey. I mean, it's been like a few years since I've last seen him, but he's got a very calm and composed mentality. He's very chill, but I mean, I haven't seen him in too many pressure situations, but I know he has at least one I am norm. And yeah, I mean, obviously he can handle the pressure. Um, Matthew Stevens very graceful and composed. Like I remember, like at the national championships, not only did he have a lot of energy and enthusiasm during and after the game, but it wasn't like all over the place. It was very concentrated and very mindful. And you saw also in the last cage match, like it was looking at some point that it could be a blowout for Deepak, especially because Deepak kept hitting him with a bunch of like knockout punches. Like he was winning the games in a very stylish manner, and to not only like come back and win, but like have a totally different game plan as well going forward. I think that speaks a lot to match playing abilities of
Yeah,
Matthew
Matthew
Stevens.
doesn't even kill guys. I don't know too much about Corey. Come on, Josh, give me some real statistics. Who's gonna have the tendency? Who's gonna be more prone to crack under the pressure? Is it Corey?
Well, I've never really seen Matthew play like I haven't really seen him play. I've never met him, I don't think. And but I've seen Corey play like 60, 70 game matches, and like he plays very consistent the whole time. Like he's used to the long haul. Like he's used to like
All
I've seen him down and he just comes right back. Like he doesn't get frustrated. He's a very calm guy. Like Gopal said, he's calm. He's collected. Like he stays calm. He doesn't tilt.
Man, all right. Well, from the debate, it seems like these guys are evenly matched, but it's still that rating disparity that's going to have to be addressed. So let me get the predictions. Josh, who do you think is going to come out ahead in the blitz, and who do you think is going to come out ahead in the bullet portion?
I think Corey will be ahead significantly in the blitz, and then in the bullet it'll be a little closer. But I still think he'll come out a little bit ahead.
So what's your
Like,
prediction? What are the numbers?
uh, um, bullet, I would say like 5.5 to 4.5, 6 to 4, and then in blitz, I would say like 8 to 3 or 7 to 4.
Wow, goodness. So this is going to be a massacre almost.
I
Uh,
think in blitz, yes.
blitz. All right. What is your predictions, Gopal?
I would say if Corey is ahead in blitz, maybe by the end it'll be 1 or 2 games maximum, or even score. But in bullet, I think Matthew has a chance to emerge with like +2. Uh,
Wow. All right. So Gopal saying close
but
enough.
I really have no idea, honestly.
Whoa, Gopal, you have no idea.
I really don't. Yeah, I mean, people were calling me a prophet before when I predicted the double overtime. It didn't turn out to be double overtime. There was one overtime that occurred.
That's true.
Um, yeah, I mean,
You've been pretty spot on with your predictions. So we want you to nail you down to something specific. We want to know what your honest thoughts are. Do you think Matthew is going to falter?
no, I don't think so. I think Corey has has an edge in blitz, slight edge, I think. Um, like because even though there is that rating disparity, like Josh mentioned Corey has like a solid style to like fall back on, but the problem is I think that overall it's a bit too soft. And you grant a positional player like Matthew Stevens this just a very comfortable, easy life with
Almost
both white or
like
black,
5 minutes.
then he's gonna be very happy. And
I had to talk though.
and also with the bullet, we've seen these like massive swings, like we were talking about how Canty faltered in the bullet a few days ago. There have been like some big comebacks too as well, and so that's just so random. Like, when I log in to play Bullet, like let's say I lose like 3 games in a row, I'm like, whatever, this is dumb. But in a cage match, you're not going anywhere. So if you're in bad form, if you're bleeding, you're gonna bleed a lot.
Yes, that's definitely true. All right, so Gopal, it sounds like you said it's going to be pretty close. It sounds like Corey may have the edge in blitz, but you think Matthew's going to come back in the bullet.
Yes.
All right, good. So. That sounds good. So this is going to be match. Now let me tell you this, guys. Both guys were so overconfident in themselves that they were talking about putting actual money down on this, even to the extent of several hundreds of dollars. I saw something about $500 being thrown around. So these guys are serious. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know who's going to go down. I don't know who's going to crack. It sounds like the debate was close. I mean, this is going to be massive. Are you guys planning on putting anything on these guys?
I hadn't
Josh?
thought about it yet. I don't know. I'm not sure. I hadn't really thought about it yet.
Are you shaking it a little bit? Are you kind of nervous about betting on Corey?
I wouldn't say I'm nervous about it. I don't know. I wouldn't want to. I don't want to put a lot of money down or anything. Just want to have fun watching it. But I'd put some money down, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Gopal?
Well, I mean, a few things. Being the commentator for this match, I believe, it might be a bit of a conflict of interest for me to have some money on this match, but I guess that never really did anybody harm. And even if I were, like, nobody really offered me any bets, but even if I was a betting man, Like I wouldn't mind betting on Matthew, especially like having worked with him for 4 years. I understand that like it's very important to like put yourself in these pressure situations all the time to succeed. And you can see Matthew's willing to do that, playing a much higher rated player and willing to bet money. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I would happily bet for him, win or lose. So he can learn.
All right, guys, we're at the final mark. We got to close it out. But this was great. You guys had a great debate. I enjoyed it. Josh, you heard it. Josh says it's going to be a massacre, but he wasn't willing to put any money on it.
I'll
So,
put. I would put some money on it. I would put some money on it.
all right, that's what we want to hear, Josh. That's what we want to hear. Gopal's backing his man. He says it's going to be a close match, but he's willing to put himself on the line. It was awesome. We thank both of you guys. It was great hearing the commentary. I can't wait to tonight and see what's going to happen. I mean, the way that these guys were going back and forth, it is going to be epic tonight. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting both of these guys to bring the heat. We want you to catch all of the action tonight on the National Blitz League Twitch page. That's twitch.tv/ National Blitz League. Again, that's twitch.tv/ National Blitz League. It's at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. That's happening tonight. And the commentary is going to be by your favorites, Akash and our very own Gopal. You guys are a great team, Gopal, so I can't wait to hear the commentary. It's going to be great analysis of the games. We're going to go in depth. It's going to be a lot of witty humor, so I can't wait to see it. Again, catch it all going down tonight, guys, 8 p.m. Central on the National Blitz League page. Guys, thanks for coming on the show. Glad to have you.
Thanks for having us.